You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 6 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Philip Coleman, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Tonight on WVUA News at 6, plans are set for a memorial service to honor those lost in April storms. We have details. Plus new changes to the Bryant Museum just days after the Tide's national championship win.
And a first grader got run over by a school bus and lived to tell about it. We'll have that story. But first, honoring the victims and survivors of the April 27th tornado. The city of Tuscaloosa announcing plans today for a community-wide memorial service honoring the lives lost on that day.
Leaders say the service will also pay tribute to all the people who gave their time, talents, and treasure. In addition to the community memorial service, the city is designating a week of remembrance by promoting community-sponsored events reflecting on the April 27th tornado.
The memorial service is set for Friday, April 27th at 5 p.m. in Government Plaza. That's in downtown Tuscaloosa. Also, this note, neighborhoods, churches, and community groups that are planning any ceremonies are encouraged to submit those events and get those on the city's calendar. You can send those via email to city@tuscaloosa.com or simply pick up the phone and call 311. Additional information about the service will be released later.
And Tuscaloosa continues to rebuild after the devastating April 27 tornado. And while things are looking up all over town, one thing is still missing: trees. Today was the second Trees of Life giveaway. It's sponsored by Wings of Grace Relief Center and Dodds Nurseries of Mobile. Tuscaloosa residents lined up at Forest Lake Baptist Church to collect free trees to put in place of those lost during the storms. All of the trees were donated. One resident who received some new trees says it gives them something other than destruction to focus on.
You know, after all the pain and everything you went through, some new growth in the yard, something to look at and something to kind of focus on instead of the devastation, you know, so it means a lot.
It makes a very visible difference to add stability to the community and help them understand that we are going to recover from this.
And Forest Lake Baptist Church pastor Donald Payne says any trees left over will be donated to Para and planted in parks around Tuscaloosa County.
New at 6, the Crimson Tide's 14th national championship win is bringing signs of change all over Tuscaloosa. At the Bryant Museum, officials are busy preparing a place to add replicas of the 2011 Coach's Trophy and Crystal Ball. The Outland Trophy Barrett Jones won, the Doak Walker Running Back Award given to Trent Richardson, also the Disney Spirit Award and the National Championship rings. A video has already been updated in the museum that includes the 14th National Championship. Longtime Alabama fan Ronald Gilliland told us they just want to thank Coach Saban, but it may not be why you would think.
I want to thank Nick Saban for not having a championship every year, because I can't afford all these caps and shirts and all every year. Let me have a breather like that. I thank him for letting us have one last year.
And you can see the Coach's Trophy that was awarded to Alabama after their championship win and have your photo taken with the big Waterford Crystal Football Trophy on Saturday. It will be on display at the Academy Sports on Skyland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. That's noon until 4 p.m. Then Sunday at the Publix in Vestavia Hills on Montgomery Highway from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m.
Crank up the heat, a big chill down is on the way.
Yeah, crank it up. We have a live look over the city of Tuscaloosa from our WVUA tower camera. Woo, chilly out there right now. The latest now on what you can expect from Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott.
Hey, Lynn and Philip, still watching a little bit of snow on Home Team Interactive radar happening north of Birmingham now towards Coleman up Interstate 65. Nothing heavy out there, just some light snow showers or snow flurries, and all this activity is northeast of Tuscaloosa now, and no accumulations are expected anywhere across our counties. There are some light accumulations happening across the Tennessee Valley, well out of our reach, but again, around here it's just going to be cold, and that's going to be the big story next few days. 39 in Tuscaloosa, 38 back in Meridian. A little bit warmer to the southeast, Dothan still at 51, but even there it will get colder later tonight. 35 on average by 7 o'clock, 30 degrees by 10 to 9, 28 at the midnight hours. Skies will go clear later tonight. It gets even colder tomorrow. What about the rest of the forecast, though? We'll look at next weekend's forecast. Home team weather is coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Richard. More than 6.5 years after Alabama teenager Natalie Holloway disappeared, a Jefferson County judge has declared her legally dead.
This comes after a request from Natalie's father, Dave Holloway. He said there's been no evidence Natalie is still alive and he needs to use money from her college fund for Natalie's brother. Holloway disappeared on a high school graduation trip in Aruba in 2005. She was last seen leaving a bar with Joran Vandersloot. Her body has never been found.
Meanwhile, Joran Vandersloot, the prime suspect in Holloway's disappearance case, is facing 30 years in prison for the death of a Peruvian woman, Stephanie Flores. He also faces possible extradition to the United States. In June of 2010, a federal grand jury in Alabama indicted him on charges of wire fraud and extortion after allegations surfaced that he tried to extort $250,000 from Natalie's mother, Beth Holloway.
Natalie Holloway's disappearance brought to light many issues, including the idea of finding safe places for teens to vacation. According to Worldwide Travel and Tours agent John Holman, the safest place to travel is Walt Disney World because it's family friendly. Second, also there in Orlando, Florida, is Universal Studios. Third, Key West, Florida, with Los Cabos and Dominican Republic rounding out the top 5. Holman also says when it comes to staying safe, there's one simple thing to always remember, whether in the U.S. or abroad.
The best advice I can give for people that want to travel, no matter if you're in the States or you go outside the States, stay with your group. Don't get cut off from your group, from your support, because they're your support.
Holman also suggests checking TravelAdvisor to see how many stars other visitors have rated the property, or for a shortcut to that website, go to ours, WVUATV.com, click numbers and links.
Coming up in home team weather, it's getting cold quickly on this Thursday night, 39 degrees in Tuscaloosa. How cold is going to get tonight? And what about your weekend forecast? Got some warmer temperatures to talk about. Home team weather is coming up in just a bit. Stay with us.
One young man got run over by a school bus and lived. We'll have his story.
And Nick Saban was running late today for a news conference, but he had a very good excuse. Gary Harris will have those details coming up in Alabama's Home Team Sports.